Play. Okay. All right. Here we are. Ladies,
Hello,
evening with
Hello,
the
hello.
coaches.
we're live.
We are.
Yay. Happy Thursday evening.
Oh, thank God.
Best
I
Thursday
thought
ever.
I thought
Yeah.
Monday it was like Wednesday. I was so disappointed. It's like it's been a week, man. Okay. Well, here we are, Erin and beautiful Roni joining us tonight at an evening with the coaches. Um, and the trust topic came up so Erin's been wonderfully traveling. So jealous. And well, that's why we had Denise on last week. And between the discussion between Denise and I, a wonderful opportunity and comments pop up. And then it's that whole intuition thing. And then trust came in. And I'm like, yeah, trust. Trust is good. And she was like, trust is good. And then I think she actually did a spin-off and did her own thing on her on her Facebook on trust too. So it was like, this is cool. So here we are. So when trust feels hard, fear, control, and letting go, like
Mm.
crazy.
Yep. So like trust sounds so beautiful in theory, but I think it's something that's really difficult in real life, right? Especially in business and leadership and relationships. Trust can be really scary for
Yeah,
some people, right?
yeah, exactly. So here we are with Roni from Good Moodra Yoga. She is the only trapeze yoga studio in Orange County. Am I correct? Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. And so Ronnie is joining us tonight. We thought it'd be a wonderful addition to have her come on, talk about trust as an entrepreneur and business owner, mom, all the things that we all are, and have a great dialogue together. So I'm really excited.
I'm
Yeah.
excited too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
Thank
Ronnie.
you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So exciting.
So
Um,
we say, trust the process. How many times? Oh, you're opening a business? Oh, it'll be fine. Just trust the process. And that's sounds so beautiful, but really, it feels very uncertain.
Mhm.
It's very fearful. Like fear can creep in and it can really be paralyzing if you don't, if you let it, right? So control feels safe. And that
Mhm.
goes with a lot of stuff, right? Relationships, kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
business. Yeah.
So, Ronnie, as a business owner, when has trust felt the hardest?
Um, the hardest. Well, I think if we kind of back up a little bit, to me, what I've found as being a business owner for a longer period of time, I've owned my business for almost 6 years. And what I found is that trust equates to just believing in yourself. Like you can trust the process, but the process has to be like what you've created. So ultimately, it's taken a long time to really understand that myself, though. So um, when it's been the hardest, like trust has been when, in every single step of every single thing that I do is trust is always very, very hard. Until recently when I just decided like I'm here for a reason and I have what it takes to do what I need to do. And I just have to remember that. Like even though things might be hard in one season or another, that I know what I'm doing. I know how to solve problems and I know how to find solutions to those problems.
Mhm. Do specific fears show up when you're making big decisions? Like,
Um, Specific fears. I I think that the biggest thing that I'm always feeling when it comes to fear is whether or not this dream that I have that's so clear in my mind is possible.
Mhm.
So maybe I've created this like, you know, this image in my mind of where I need to be or where I want to go, but is it even achievable? And do I see other people doing it to kind of help me through that?
mhm, mhm. Okay. Yeah, I can picture. I think we have that same,
Mhm.
any entrepreneur, I think big visionary has that. Um, you have those big dreams and goals, and yeah, it's so big and scary. So the fear comes through, and for us, I think it's been like, um, what are we like? Is this really what we're like? Kind of questioning sometimes, like, is this really what we're supposed to be doing? Well,
Mhm.
we've been led in this direction for so long that
Mhm.
we just have to keep going back to that, right? But that's
That
trust gets
why. Yeah.
that why gets in the way. Not no, it doesn't get in the way, but we have to go back to our why a lot of the
hmm
times.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, and I could say it way back when, not with us with business now, but before it might have been fear of failure. So sometimes you don't start because, well, what if I fail? And it's like, but what if you learn and you don't fail and you keep growing and evolving and we pivot and we shift and all that stuff. But if someone is so fearful that they can't take that first step because of the fear of failure, then that's a rough place to be. And I
Hmm.
think probably a lot of women might be in some of that, you know, or
Hmm.
fear of success, right? So then there's a whole worthy issue tied into that, you know.
Yeah, crazy enough, I have never feared that I'll fail. It sounds
Right.
it sounds ridiculous because
No.
like I must have this like, fake reality, but I don't really feel fear that I'll fail. I do weirdly enough fear success. Like what happens when I do get there? Like what else is there to do?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, it's
And
like, oh, sorry, go ahead, Erin.
no,
It's
no.
like we want to know the how, but we don't need to know the how. We just need to keep going, right? And it'll
Yeah.
evolve. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Erin.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry. Sorry.
It was when you get there. Something about when oh well, oh, I think about this. Is it sustainable? When I get there, is it something that I'm going to be able to continue to do? And I think that scares me a little bit. Like I
Mhm.
want to scale, but is it sustainable? But obviously if you're scaling in a thoughtful and planned out way, then yes, absolutely. Yeah, it gets really scary sometimes to think about that.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing I discovered about myself as a business owner. I had no idea I was afraid of success. And
Mhm.
then randomly it just comes up like it's the weirdest thing. But
And you are
I think a lot of
successful.
people do. Yeah.
Yeah. And your business is thriving. I see the women, I see the classes. I love it when I walk in there. I'm just like, you built that. That is
yeah,
definitely something to be proud of.
thanks. You're going well.
Ah, shucks. But
Yeah.
anyway, going back to control and fear, right? Control is often fear in disguise.
Mhm.
Um, when the time is uncertainty, but you got to move forward. And sometimes I feel like, even between Aaron and I, things will pop up and it's like on the inside, I'm like, holy crap. But I'm like, you know what? No, we don't have time for this. Just keep moving forward, make the next phone call, and then things just kind of fall into place. And then here we are, right? And another event happens or something else. And
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. When you try to control, I don't know, and maybe Ronnie, you could talk about this, like in business, you have employees, right? And you're managing, you're leading those employees. Do you ever feel like you're control like you're how is it leading versus controlling? Like how do you know when you're leading versus controlling, like for the
That's a good one.
outcomes of things?
Yeah.
Um, that's a great question. I don't know if you always know. I don't know if you always know the difference, but I can tell you when my employees are sharing the exact same thing that I share, that's when I know I've got it. And I haven't told them to say that, right? I've just shared my vision, and then they reproduce that. The biggest thing that I've found that helps with that is every meeting that we have, we always talk about our mission, and the vision and where the studio is, but also our values. And my employees have to understand what those values are. We call each other out on who's exhibited the values. And that just brings us all in alignment where we're feeling a lot more close knit. And then again, like I said, like I'll be in class and I hear instructors say something that I definitely would have said exactly that way. And that's when I know that I'm creating that culture versus giving them a script, right? Like telling them exactly what they have to say. They're exhibiting what I'm asking them to do without me asking them to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
That's a great example. That's great.
Yeah. That, I mean, that is, and that's true leadership too, right? Giving them
Mhm.
the tools, being in alignment, and then watching them fly and
Yeah.
carrying it forward.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. And I think remembering that training isn't something that we've done, it's something that we do. Like we have to
Hmm.
consistently do that, consistently
Hmm.
remind them, consistently get in front of them, and to not expect them to remember everything. So
Yeah, that's
that's helpful.
awesome.
Mhm.
So what would you think is helped to like kind of loosen the grip? Like I mean, now I think you're in a nice, I mean, we're never comfortable, but we're probably in a better place or whatever. But like in the beginning when things are being built and things new, like, when was a point where you could like step back and be like, okay, I don't need to control this. This is going to happen anyway or whatever. Do you remember what that felt like and at what point?
I don't think I'll ever feel like that in my life.
Okay. Okay.
No, I don't think that it's gone at all. Like maybe I am, there are levels, there are stages that we all are looking to achieve. And the thing that last year in January that I told myself, and it was kind of like an awakening to me a little bit, where I realized like it is never done. I'm never going to reach my goal because my goal, because of who I am, and I think who any entrepreneur is, and even people in general, the goal is always going to increase before we even hit the dang thing, right?
Hmm.
So I
Right.
could either sprint as fast as I can go to try to hit this goal and like burn myself out and get tired and get stressed and frustrated. Or I could say, you know what? That goal is never going to be, I'm never going to be done. So at this point, I'm just going to choose a pace I can consistently run, as long as I need to. So I don't know what that looks like for everyone. Maybe it's 80%, maybe it's 90%, but I'm not sprinting anymore. I'm doing my
Hmm.
best not to sprint anymore. I'm just focusing on keeping a comfortable pace I can do forever.
Mhm.
I like that. That's good.
Mhm.
I think that's really important because I do feel that, well, just tonight, all the people that we saw, you could feel the energy. And it was a networking event that Ronnie and I went to, and part of the chamber stuff. But anyway, you could feel the energy, and a lot of them are in sprint mode. And I
Mhm.
know Aaron and I were in sprint mode when we first started too, and it came to the point where it was like, this just isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
As far as much as we want this to work and as much as we know our purpose and, you know, but how it looks and what it's going to be, that's the other part that we're just like hanging on for the ride.
It's the crazy thing you say that, Tiffany, because you could tell the people who were in sprint mode, and you could tell the people who weren't. And the people
Yeah.
who are in sprint mode are like anxiously attached. If you think about it like that, they're like
Yeah.
grabbing, they're like, please pay attention to me, listen to what I do, listen to what I do, which is fine. Like it's
That's
hard to be in
networking.
those situations,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it makes total sense. But you can tell the people who've done it for a little while, they're asking questions and
Hmm.
then they're being asked questions instead of me trying to force onto people. I do trapeze yoga, you guys pay attention, right? I'm
Right.
asking about their business because I care,
Yeah.
but I also want to see how like we can work together,
Yeah.
but learning about them versus just spouting off at them what I do. And then they ask, I
Yeah.
expect to just, I don't necessarily even have to talk about the business unless they ask questions. So it's nice to find that comfort zone. Like I don't have to get in somebody's face to get them to listen and hear because they're gonna listen if I'm interested in them anyway. Or if they don't want to listen, that's cool. Like I met someone cool that day.
Hmm.
I don't have to push so hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Letting go and loosening that grip and just kind of going with where it leads you. I think that helped us a lot. Like kind of take a step back and be like, where do we want to go that's in alignment, with us. I think of what you're talking about, Ronnie, with like your mission and your values. And not controlling like the outcome any of it. And then things started actually opening up and flowing to us, which was
Hmm.
pretty amazing. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You feel like control when we're trying to control everything. It's short term, it feels safer because you're thinking that you're controlling what's going to happen, right? So it has that like illusion of safety. But but letting go and just trusting kind of that process gives you the ability to go down avenues that you didn't think possible, to be open for new opportunities, right? Like things like we kind of let go. Like our initial vision was retreats, like weekend long retreats, and then we're like international retreats, and we're like going on, and then we kind of like took a step back and we're like, we don't want to hustle. Like this is actually a lot harder than we thought, because we thought
Mhm.
every single woman was going to want to go on our retreat. We were trying to control them signing up for our retreats, right? So we kind of like let it go just a little bit. And then all of a sudden, like leadership opportunities started coming, like for us to go in that direction, and educate other education opportunities. And that was really cool. That was really
Mhm.
cool to see,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So what do you
Yeah, I
guys,
mean, yeah, go ahead, Ronnie.
so I am listening to us talk about trusting the process and letting go. And I understand that definitely. But I think it's really important for me, at least in my business, for me to realize that it's not so much like in order to trust the process, you have to have a process, right? So you have to trust you've built a good process that you can
Mhm.
follow, at least in my business. Like I wouldn't have trusted the process at the beginning because I didn't know what the process was.
Right.
So I think in my situation, what I've found is that I have worked really hard to create a process that I know works, that I know has proven time and time again to actually, produce what I expected to produce. And now I can trust that that process will work. And I'm busy thinking about other processes now. What other processes can I create to bring in different opportunities? So I don't know that I've ever, and I don't know, I think that that's partially where you guys are going with this conversation, right? Where you want to trust the process. Um, I'm curious if you feel that same way that you need to build a process first.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mean, I'm going to answer, sorry if Aaron, you want to jump in,
Go
but
for it. No.
I'm thinking because you have a brick and mortar that yeah, you need processes. You need processes. Like you need because you've got payroll and then you've got to track your statistics and membership and all the things that go with a business owner. Ours is a little bit looser
Mhm.
because we don't have a brick and mortar yet. That isn't our dream and our goals. But I think the bigger picture is that like you said, we're not sprinting. Now we're going for the long haul, the comfortable walk jog, that we can make sustainable, which offers then the long-term processes, expansion, opportunities for growth, opportunities to maybe open another location, opportunities for us to have a wellness center at some point, so
Mhm.
yeah, again, letting go of control, when we're in control mode, we're like right here. When we let go, then it's like, oh, it's almost like you can breathe,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's in relationships too, right? I mean, I don't know if anybody's been in a controlling relationship or tried to control people. I don't know who that would be, but you know how exhausting that can be, and it gets nowhere. It's a terrible place to be.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that.
Mhm.
That's funny. Mm. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think sure, we need some processes in terms of like marketing, right? Because we need some good marketing to get out there and stuff. So that would be some sort of process. And of course, you have to control how that goes along. But in terms of, I think getting people, like you said, like you're not going up to people at networking events and being like, listen to me, right? So getting people to come and join us, we were trying to control that in the very beginning. And it was kind of ugly and kind of not fun. Um, and once we were able to just kind of let it go and be like, hey, we're on this path, we're on this journey, and it's going to work out. It's going to work out, right?
Yeah,
Trusting that
yeah.
we're here for a reason, like you said. Um, and along the way, there's going to be a lot of bumps and ups and downs, and we're going to figure it out as we go. And yay, here we are, enjoying that journey along the way, and just
Yes.
trusting that it's going to work out. Like it just is, because there's no other opportunity, no other, there's nothing else, this is what we're doing.
I mean,
That's
just
what
like
we
you
want to
said,
do.
yeah, just like you said, Ronnie, like I didn't, the fear of failure never came to my mind either. Like I don't, maybe because I don't believe in failure, I don't know. Because if something doesn't work out, then in my mind, then it's just not meant to be. And that's because it's opening a door for something else. And I
Yes.
And
really do
lessons you
believe
always
that.
learn from too, like we say.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Um, so you have your instructors, you have your, you've got your key players that we've met that are awesome.
Mhm.
So in the beginning though, what was it like to trust somebody else with your vision? And
Oh my
did you really
goodness.
even have to? I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So I opened my studio, which I would never recommend anybody to do ever, but I opened my studio full staff, like with I already had a studio manager. And
Wow.
I had I think when I opened, I had like 7 employees, minimum of a 7 instructors plus the studio manager. Maybe I even had 10, but this was back like way back in COVID time, and I basically trauma dumped that out of my brain. But basically, I started because I know as a business owner, if you're not working on your business and you're only teaching classes, you can't grow. And so I just like went all the way there. I was like, this is what I'm going to need to be, so this is where I'm going to need to go. So I did absolutely trust in my employees from the very beginning. And I think it's I think it's like like being there to demonstrate and then see how people are acting and just correct small things as they come up. You know what I mean? So it wasn't necessarily that I knew that they knew exactly what they were supposed to do. We were brand new. We hadn't taught one trapeze class. When you're the only trapeze studio in Orange County, guess where you get your trapeze instructors? From you.
From you.
We trained them who has never taught a trapeze class because we've never had trapeze classes. So we taught each
It's true.
other and we learned like kind of with each other a little bit.
It's cool.
But ultimately, like we had a process. Like I very, very good at writing processes and procedures and whatnot and trainings. And I put that together and we did what we needed to do. And then as time went on and I was taking classes and I was listening to people at the front desk, I would make small adjustments for what they were saying over time. And definitely it took some time for me to clear the vision to my employees to make it clear enough for them to absorb and actually take it on like they have now. It took me a couple years actually to really get that solid in my business
Hmm. Hmm.
where I knew it, but
Hmm.
I thought that when you train them, they know it, when in fact you have to consistently talk about it. And again, over time is when I learned that.
Yeah, like constant reminding, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, not even reminding, but just and not even in like reminder mode, but in like a fun way. Like
Yeah,
again, we have a team meeting every single month, and every single month they tell me what of their peers they saw demonstrating one of our values, which is
that's
uh
good.
one, it's giving them like positive feedback right off the bat, and we're all
Yes.
sweet about it. It's the cutest thing you have ever seen. Like we're all like, it's just like this big love squad now. But but it's also reinforcing that vision that I have, which is what we stand for.
Mhm.
That's nice. I love that. And
Yeah,
I think what you said, is it that maybe in the beginning, or maybe, I don't know, as you go, like your vision grows, then that helps you to clarify. And you said it took a little while for it to become clearer for you than to even like relay that to others. But I imagine as the growing process in the beginning, that, it kind of maybe shifted a little bit or grew with your vision, right?
You know, it's so crazy that you asked that question because I wrote a business plan when I first in October 2019. I know this because I loved writing my business plan.
that's awesome.
When I wrote it, I'm like, this is my jam. This is what I'm supposed to do, like doing all the research. Anyway, so I did it in October 2019 and I put my vision and I put my mission on paper and I wrote out exactly how I wanted it to go and what I wanted people to feel and how I wanted them to interact. And I've gone back to that business plan multiple times over the years, and it's exactly the same. Like I had the vision of what I wanted and it has not changed. I can't even make it better because it was just exactly where I wanted to go. And I think that's what helped me so much is having such a clear vision for myself. What I wasn't good at was making sure my employees knew that.
Okay.
Like I knew it and I
Hmm.
shared that with like how I behaved. But if you
Yeah.
weren't spending a lot of time with me, you weren't getting that like osmosis, you know, you weren't learning in that
Hmm.
way. So
Hmm.
until I started really implementing that in our in my I have one-on-one meetings and my team meetings, like that's when it actually started really getting stronger.
Very good. Cool. Very
That
good.
is so insightful. I love that.
I know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
Of course.
That's great. Okay. So then also that brings into trust and collaboration, right? Because the three of us are also in collaboration with an upcoming retreat that's coming up in March.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
again, thank you for working with us and us all working together
Mhm.
um, for the March 22nd Love
Yes,
Yourself retreat.
of course. I'm
A
happy
month
to.
away.
I know.
Yeah.
Um, so what's the address? Ronnie, go ahead and tell us the address real quick.
We're in Anaheim on the border of Placentia and Anaheim off Orangethorpe. The address is 3462 East Orangethorpe Avenue,
Thank you.
Anaheim, California, 92806.
Mhm. And
I
that's
was
for all
just
the people.
talking about your studio today to one of my coworkers who got into like bodybuilding,
Oh,
and she used to do yoga. and and I was like, you have to try that. I think you really like trapeze yoga. And so I was telling her all about it today.
oh,
So
cute.
we'll see if she comes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Love
Oh,
that.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Um, so yes, exactly. You can always check out a class at Ronnie's studio for sure. And then of course we will integrate yoga in our day retreat, which will be, like we said, March 22nd from 1:30 to 7.
Mhm.
And we'll probably throw in a little sound bath at the end. I think we were talking about that.
Mhm.
Um, but again, it all again goes back to trust, trusting the process, trusting, committing to yourself, you know, being in alignment with something that you get to treat yourself with, give yourself the day. Actually, you don't even give yourself the day, it's a half day. So it's even, so you still have stuff to get done. You can get it done. But just trust. Trust in the seasons, trust in life, trust in the chapters. Sometimes people come in and go, come in and in your life and go out of your life, and then you can't figure it out. But then later you realize, again, trusting that they were there for the reason that they were there. Business was there, the reason it was there, all the opportunities that come and go. It's awesome.
Mhm. Mhm. Timing, not everything happens right when you want it. That's another thing I think people try to control is time.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Yeah.
um, you know, trying to get pregnant right now, like right back years ago when we first got married, we got to, trust trying to, be in charge of that timing did not work out the way I thought it was going to. You
Mhm.
know, there's so many things, and if you look back, I think if I look back in my life, like, yeah, the thing when I was trying to control the most, the things that didn't turn out the way that I thought they would, in the time that I thought they would, or the way that I thought they would, but have been just the most beautiful rendition, more than what I had actually hoped for or dreamed for. And I think that's kind of a nice way to think about, yes, of course, if you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, like you said, I love that you have this business plan. It is exactly that. Like that is wonderful. There's so many things in our lives that kind of turn out better than we even expected. And sometimes that happens from just being able to just kind of let go and tune into like yourself internally, and just like trusting that things are going to work out the way that they are supposed to. They're meant to be. They should work out in the best way for everybody. And I think, again, and it doesn't happen overnight, and it sometimes, takes twists and turns, And that's the process, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trust isn't about knowing the outcome. It's about knowing who you are while you're waiting for the outcome.
Hmm. Hmm. Or becoming who you are meant to be when you get to that outcome. Like maybe you're not where you're not where you are right now where you think you should be because you're not like actually ready for that stage in your life, you know. And
Yeah.
so you have some more growth to do or some more things to learn along the way to that end goal.
Mhm.
And so that's a
Mhm.
timing thing, right? Can't control it all.
Have you guys ever
Trusting.
heard the statement that everything I want, I have?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think that the first 50,000 times I heard it, I was like, I don't have everything I want, so you're a liar. But somewhat recently,
Perspective.
there's, I connected with that differently than I'd ever connected with it. It was like last year, I can't tell you when, maybe around June or so. But, um, but I realized that while everything that I want, I don't have physically this moment, everything that I want, I have inside of me. And I think that's probably the best way that I could relate to trust, in more so like trusting that you have what you need. Like the thing that I do when I feel the most fearful is I'll refer back to like everything I want I have. And that means I have the capability of figuring this out. I have the
Mhm.
capability of creating a process, right? I have the
Mhm.
capability of literally doing whatever I decide to do because I've never proven myself wrong. And so I think that's where I developed the most stress or fear resilience is remembering that even if I'm not where I want to be this moment, I know how to get there and I'm good at it. And I
Mhm.
think that that everybody really has that inside of them. And that's been a really cool thing to share with my students and to share with my instructors and try to get them to see that little spark in themselves. Because I think it took me a long time to see that, to
Mhm.
notice that it existed in me that way.
Yes. I love that. We say that all the time to the women that we lead, you know, you have everything you need inside of you. It is already there. Might be hidden or it might be buried or whatever, but it is there. And so we really try to help them see that too. And
Mhm.
um I think that is kind of the focus of our self-love retreat is like the love, you know, the self-love and learning to look inward into yourself and knowing that. So I'm so glad you brought that up because that's good.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
appreciation and gratitude and all those things, but for yourself. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I'm in awe of my body because I have so many ailments and yet I can still do half the stuff. I can still get on a snowboard. I can still go down the hill with my kids. You know, things like that. And that is like such gratitude. Am I great at trapeze? No, but that's okay. I still show up. Do I get tangled up? Sometimes.
I
But
still get tangled up
yeah,
sometimes.
see,
FYI.
but I mean, yeah, it's like it, you know, and I'll never forget, and this is the opposite of that inner trust is also that, and I hate to give it away because it's really powerful when we're on the ropes and stuff, is that no one is coming. No one's coming
Mhm.
but you. And it's like you have it. You don't need to have somebody come for you. You don't need to have somebody rescue you. You have all that it takes. It's inside you. And that's like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And it's powerful when they recognize that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this has been fun talking with you, Ron. It's just been so
Yes,
insightful and I just, you know, value you as a female entrepreneur, business owner.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, thank you. It was great for me as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So, trust is also built in safe places with the safety inside you, spaces where you don't have to have it all figured out, which is what we said, trust the process.
Mhm. So maybe think
And
about like for viewers, think about where your What are you trying to control right now? Where are you gripping tightly, and how can you just loosen just a little bit and just know that whatever you need is already inside of you? And it may feel scary, right? But taking one step forward um, in that direction is really all you need to do. Just keep one foot in front of the other day after day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well,
Last
any
minute
other?
thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think we did great. Again, check out Ronnie's studio, Good Moodra Yoga. Again, we have our retreat on 3/22. And then
Mhm.
we have a couple closing affirmations we like to do. And I think we can each say a line. If you want to start, Erin, go ahead.
Uh,
Or I'll start.
there, yeah, go for it.
So we always end with a closing affirmation. And this when these three, I release what I cannot control.
I trust myself enough to move forward.
I let growth unfold.
Yes, you do.
Literally.
Yeah, I know. Right on the trapeze. That was awesome.
That was perfect.
All right,
Yep.
everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Ronnie, again. And we hope everybody has a great evening. And we hope you're able to take away something from this chat tonight. And have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.